Hello and welcome to Invincible. Today we have with us in conversation Mr. Vivek Atray and his book Finding Success Within. Welcome to Invincible.
Thank you, John.
So Mr. Atray, I would want to start with why a book for youngsters?
Yeah, I travel the whole country. I speak to youngsters. I've been a youngster myself at some point. So in this journey, I've learned a few tricks and a few success factors.
Right.
So I thought I must focus on the youth because firstly, I think the youth need to read more.
Absolutely.
And secondly, I think they need a little bit of stress relieving in terms of expectations are very high from society, from their parents. So I tell them about the bigger picture of life. So I thought I must focus on the youth because I speak to the youth all over India. So the book is about the youth.
So when we say the book has 52 life skills, what life skills are we talking about here?
Yeah, we're talking about life skills, career skills, work balance skills with life balance. The thing is that we have to cover in this book, I had to cover about 52 skills because 52 is also the number of weeks in a year.
Okay.
And 52 is also the number which I came to when I realized I have to cover the whole gamut of experiences that I have. And from skills which are basic like PowerPoint presentation delivery or networking, which is slightly more important, to the bigger picture skills like meditation, mindfulness, the inner journey. So whatever I felt was conducive to success and happiness, I covered that. And then 52 reads like a nice number. And since I've gone from very basics to even things like relationships, how to handle difficult bosses, lots of topics kept coming to my mind. That's why 52 life skills.
So you have such a vast experience of life and your profession as well. You have been an ex-IAS officer and you are a motivational speaker and you are also managing an academy where you go and give talks to youngsters. So I am really intrigued by what got you into writing a book like this.
Yeah, so my first two books were novels and they were stories.
Right.
So maybe I was also growing as a writer and I started writing more in a column also I started writing. And when I started writing that column, I started writing about society, about youth, about challenges, how to overcome them, about trends. So then I realized that going with my motivational speaking and this column which I was writing, a lot of ideas came into me. And when I go for my motivational speaking sessions, I talk to students, they ask me questions like, my parents compare me with others. How do I handle that pressure? So then I answer that, your parents love you, but the methods may be wrong, you have to be balanced, calm, expect them to ask you such things, but don't take so much pressure upon yourself. So then I realized that I can compile a book on this. And so I started writing this book, and the format I used was a quick read, but each of the topics has been covered comprehensively enough for anyone to understand with anecdotes.
That is what I was observing, that there are a lot of topics which you have covered. Do you think a book like this is sufficient to convey what you want to say?
Yeah, I think it is because in this era, there are people who don't have time. Most people don't have time. I could write, actually, if you look at it, a book on each of the topics.
Exactly.
52 books. But in this book, I have given a snapshot of each. I think it is enough for anyone to understand the topic. If they want to go deeper into it, they are welcome to be in touch with me for my workshops. But otherwise, I think an introduction with a few takeaways. So at the end of each chapter, as you know, there are a few takeaways given. And these takeaways are then what you need to remember. So then they give the point. So I think these about 2 or 3 pages of each topic followed by takeaways, that helps.
So I want to know, I'm seriously very intrigued by your personality. I want to know, between becoming an administrative officer, a writer, a motivational speaker, which of these roles is closest to your heart?
Right now it's motivational speaking and writing, but then one evolves, right? So at some point of time I was a cricket aspirant. I used to want to play for India. I was an under-19 cricketer and I tried to get into higher realms. I played till the national level also at under-19. Yeah, I played All India Sikh Naidu twice. Then I got into engineering. So there I had to obviously go through that course, but I wasn't really, my mind wasn't that much into it. Then by quirk of fate, my father passed away in service, I came into the service. And then I came into the Haryana service and then later I got promoted to the IAS. So service happened. I did my service dedicatedly. That was me at that time. That was most important. Then I realized when I interacted with the youth and I started speaking that I have more potential creatively. So I became a more creative person. My personality also started evolving a little more. I became more effusive, more communicative, more of a mentor or more cheerful while speaking. My writing was, I guess, always not so bad. Now it's improved and I became more of a writer. So both the speaking and the writing roles are now close to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does your family support this?
Yeah, so my wife, Nina, has been really, really supportive. She actually egged me on as a writer right from the beginning. And she was quite fond of my writing. Even in college days, she was a student in my college. We were together. And she read my college magazine write-ups. She used to like them. But when we got married, she kept... But then the first 10 years of my service, I was very busy running around. The focus wasn't there. Then I started writing a little bit again. Started getting published in papers. So it was probably good enough to get... I was published at the Times of India, the Hindustan Times, the Indian Express, the Tribune. So all English papers of the region and even national level. So then I realized that I have more. So this writing, the family encouraged me. My daughters encourage me. My sisters, everyone encourages me. And I guess now my readers encourage me.
So I just want to know, when it's a person like you who's giving a motivational talk, and there are hundreds of people in front of you who want to listen to you, and they're all very average, do you think it gets overbearing at times?
Well, I don't think they're average. They all have intelligence. Basic intelligence is with everyone. And
what I mean is that they feel somewhere that they're lacking something, so that level of confidence is not there. They don't believe in themselves.
Yeah.
So do you think a person like you, when he talks about motivation, will it get overbearing for them?
It can get overbearing, but it depends on me how I'm able to connect with them. So if they are at a certain level of feeling timid or shy or worried, even if they're intelligent, if they get the right inputs in the right way, so that is my skill. I have to connect, whether it's a 5,000 audience or a 50 number audience, I have to connect with each one if possible. And since I have about 2 million views on YouTube now, so I have been able to connect, and somewhere I get a lot of messages from the youth. That's this, I feel this, thank you for encouraging us, motivating us. So I think I've been able to connect. So instead of being overbearing, my thing is to inspire them. Right. That maybe many of them say we want to be like you, so that gives me more positivity in what I do. If I can be a role model for them, nothing like it.
So when are we expecting your next book for our youth?
Yeah, so I am firstly planning to collect my random forays, which is my column, into a book.
Okay.
And there are about more than 100 now. And I will keep writing every year, so you never know when my book might come out again. Because this motivational journey is something which I feel speaking and writing both are important. Absolutely. People are on the move all the time. Some of them watch videos, some of them listen to audios. I speak on some audio sites as well. Okay. Some of them read on Kindle, some of them read on their phone, some of them pick up a book like this. So I think if we can marry all of them and give them all the options, then they will be able to read and understand or listen and understand. So I am an all-rounder. I want to make them all-rounders. So let's go on with it.
I really hope the kind of work that you are doing, you keep you keep doing it, and do it really the way you are. It's really very inspiring and motivating. I am motivated myself.
That's good.
So I really hope this book does very well, and I want the readers and our viewers to please pick this up and see what life skills do you need. Thank you so much, Mr. Atray, for being with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.